the Java lab experiment number 12. Write a Java program to implement multi-level inheritance by applying various access controls to its data members and methods. This program is actually based on two concepts, two techniques used in the object-oriented programming. The first one is called as multi-level inheritance. We are studying here what is the meaning of multi-level inheritance. Then we are studying various access controls. We are giving different access control or visibility control to the its data members as well as methods. For this, I have created here three classes. The first one is called a student class, which is a parent class of the other two class, that is grandfather. Okay, super class. Now I have created one more class called as marks. This marks is just like a parent, father, where this mark actually inherit student class. I have created one more class called as result, and this result is just like a child class where it will extend from the marks class. Result extend marks, whereas marks extend student. So it is called as a multi-level inheritance. This result class contain some of the property from the student as well as some of the property from the marks. We will study what are the different properties or data members or methods which is inherited from its parents, either from student or from marks. That concept will be explained by visibility control or access control. Now in student we have two data members, that is called as roll number and name, and both this roll number and name are access control is actually provided as private. Private means here this roll number and name is available only within the student class. I cannot access these two data members outside the class. Next, I have created two methods here, get studinfo and put studinfo, and both are given as public here. Public means it can access from the student as well as it can access from the any class methods which is outside. Public means this method is for every other class. It may be in the same package or maybe in the different package. Then I have created one more class here, marks. Within that marks, I have created three data members, M1, M2, M3. This is for marks. Now, here the marks are access control is protected. Protected means any class that extend marks, it may be within the package or may be outside the package. Any class that extend the marks class can access these three data members, M1, M2, M3. Even if the class belonging to same package, even though that class is not inherited by marks, that class is not inheriting marks, if it belongs to same package, then also M1, M2, M3 is available to that class. Then I have created two methods here, get marks and put marks. The visibility for this one is, or access specifier is friendly, because I have not specified any access specifier in front of this one, neither private nor public or protected. When I am not specifying any access specifier, it is called as friendly. Friendly is just like a public. That means any class can access these two, put marks and get marks. Any class methods can access these two methods within the same package. The difference between the friendly and public is public give the visibility to every class within the same package or maybe other package. But friendly means every class but within the same package, not outside the package. This is called as friendly visibility here. The next one is called as I have created a result. In a result, I have created one variable called as private, that is total, which one is a private here. Next, I have created one more friendly method called as compute display, which will find out the total of the marks. Now, I have to understand here what are the methods inherited by this result class. This result class cannot inherit the private members of its superclasses. Now, what are the members it can access? The first members is taken from the student, that is get studinfo and put studinfo. Roll number in name is not available because it's a private. Get studinfo, put studinfo is the part of now result. Next, it will take some of the members like 3 marks m1, m2, m3 because it's a protected. Then it will take get marks and put marks. Then it also has its own method called as compute display. These are the some of the properties of result. What I will do here, I have created one class called as multi-level demo class. This is for demoing the multi-level inheritance. In that, I have created one main method. First, I have created a object of result class here. This result class object access first get studinfo, which is defined in the superclass, that is student. Then I have written get marks, that is which is taken from the superclass again, taken from the marks. Again two superclass method, put studinfo and put marks. This is from the student and this is from the marks. Then I have called the compute display, which is really defined in the result class. Okay, I will show you how to run this program step by step. I have display here. Now I have started here. I put one breakpoint here. Now run it. Now see, first I have to create an object of result R. Now the object R is created here. Okay, instance of result. It is a instance of result. Now I am calling get studinfo. Now see, I jump into the get studinfo where from it is accessing here. If you see, it is actually taken from student class. It get studinfo is actually taken from the student class. What this get studinfo will do, it will take two values, that is roll number and name. This roll number and name is actually taken from your input from the keyboard. I already used a method called as readline, which is actually a method of data input stream. I already created an object of this, which is a data input stream, and apply here system in. System in means standard input, that is nothing but keyboard. This is the one of the smallest technique used for taking the input from the keyboard. Whenever I use the method readline, it will return a string. Now I have to convert that into number with the help of a wrapper method called as parseInt. I'm using a wrapper class parseInt and you create a one roll number here. Roll number is stored in this roll number. Then I have created one name. Here I read that name and store it in the name directly. Now this is called as get studinfo. I will show how actually it will works. Now display the roll number. Now type the roll number here, roll number 4. Press enter. When I press enter, it is asking for the enter the name. Okay, now I have to write read line again. Okay, now I have to write the name here. You give any name, then press enter. Okay, here I have put one try and catch block, because if you done any mistake during the roll number here, whenever you are reading the roll number, if you done some mistake, instead of crash, it will handle the exception properly here. Next, it goes to the get marks. Now the student info is already read. I have to go to the get marks. Get marks is actually taken from the marks class here, and read the 3 marks one by one. First it will ask for the M1. I give some value like here 65 and press enter. Okay, next I will again read line. I have given some value like 56, press enter. Then again it will read the line. I give 78 something, press the enter again. Now I have read 3 marks M1, M2, M3. It is read in the string format, converted back to integer, store it in M1, M2, M3. Now go to the next one, get marks. Then I have to display the student information as well as marks information. Then I have to display the result. So first I go to the student class. Here I display the roll number and name. First it will display the roll number 4. Name is Ashwin. Then I have to display the marks. Take the put marks from the marks. Marks, it will go to the put marks. Then display here. First marks 65, second marks is 56, third marks is 78. Here all the marks will be displayed one by one. Next, I have to display the result. Okay, so I have to jump into the result class. There I have taken, go to the compute display, find out the total. So total will be calculated here and display the total. Now total is 199. The total of this one is 199. Now this is the output I got. Now what actually this experiment will do, it will gives you the idea of multi-level inheritance, how to create a multi-level inheritance, and also specify how to use different members by specifying the access specifier. This access specifier, like public, private, protected, and friendly, gives you the control which class method can access which member. If I have created one class, I can give the permission which class can access that members. That permission can be done and it is in my control. So that is actually called as access specifier.